right, and I'm back. So, last Friday, the new Mortal Kombat movie came out, and I have some thoughts. I'm gonna do a little bit spoiler free, and then I'm gonna go definitely into spoilers because they've been asking me to do this, so I'm gonna go spoiler free at the beginning, then I'll let you know when I switch. So, welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
Din, 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 din. I love that song. I love that fucking song. It sucks that they don't put it in the movie. But before we get into it, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World, streaming on YouTube and on Twitch at Super Dario World. I'm two-ish, Monday through Thursday, Fridays. Mondays and Fridays are wild cards. We'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do now that Falcon the Winter Soldier's done. I'm gonna have to do something on Mondays. We'll see. Maybe I'll just review something that I watched on the weekend or whatever. I don't know. But let's get into it. Let's talk about the latest movie to come out, Mortal Kombat. Like I said, it came out last Friday. This is the 2021 version. It came out if you want to watch it on HBO Max. And it's an interesting flick. So right now we're gonna stay spoiler free. And first off, the soundtrack sucks because they did not use the Mortal Kombat. It sucks. They didn't use it, so that was massively disappointing. But overall, listen, we know what Mortal Kombat is. We know why we're there. We're there for the brutality. We're there for the fatality. So in that arena, it was fine. If you only care about the fatalities and all that stuff and the brutality and the gruesomeness of it, you're good. You're gonna be fine. It does deliver in that arena. The effects look really good, and it's just brutal and disgusting, and it's fan-fucking-tastic. So in that arena, you're good. If that's what you're there for, you're good. Highly recommend the movie. If you're there for the story, you're gonna be massively disappointed, because the story is really, 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 really stupid. But I'll save that part for when I go into spoilers, when I actually break it down. The biggest issue I have is that, well, forget about, well, listen, there's a lot of issues with the movie, but right now I'll start with the fighting. I have a lot of issues with the fight scenes, and that's because they just do too many cuts. Now, and for those of you who don't know, in film generally, in a movie, when there's a fight scene and you see too many cuts, like for example, I'm hitting you and then it cuts to somebody blocking or getting hit or whatever, it usually means that the actor doesn't know how to fight. And so it's a way of kind of masking that. In this movie, supposedly, a lot of the people that they chose for the roles knew how to fight, and they chose them specifically because they knew how to fight. Because honestly, most of them weren't great actors. To be completely honest, not great actors. There's a couple of them who did good performances. There's a couple who were really good, but most of them not great actors. And so you assume that the reason why they picked them is because they knew how to fight. And if they knew how to fight, we honestly didn't see it on screen because they kept cutting. Like almost every single hit or block or whatever got a cut, and it's really annoying because it's usually close up and then really far away and then close up again and then the camera spinning, all that stuff. And I get it, there's a certain art to the way you edit things and the way you edit a fight that could be really good. They just did not do it that well, and it sucks because I went back to watch the original Mortal Kombat and the fight scenes and how they handled them there, and the actors who knew how to fight, they actually allowed them to fight a little bit. They went a little artsy in certain parts, but it went with the movie. In fact, I go back and rewatch the final fight between Liu Kang and Shao Kahn. Is it Shao Kahn? I always forget his name. I always yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Shao Kahn's the other guy. No, Shang Tsung. It's a very interesting build, and I noticed something very interesting there. There's a lack of a build-up in this one. It's just it's too rushed. It goes too fast. And the crazy part is, okay, well, I was about to go into a spoiler arena. No, I'm gonna save it. Everything feels way too rushed. They're trying way too hard to cram things in there. They're not really going into the backstories. And they tried to do too much with it, which is weird because you don't need it. Here, listen. you always have to follow, at least rule number one when you're writing, you have to follow the KISS rule. Keep it simple, stupid. I'll say it again, the KISS rule. Keep it simple, stupid. All right? Keep it simple, stupid. KISS rule. Remember that. It's always better. And that was the issue that I had with Godzilla vs. Kong. They tried to add too much stuff in there that wasn't necessary. We didn't need all the human stuff. We didn't need all the bunch of stuff. And so, keep it simple, stupid. All we wanted was giant monsters fighting. Now, on the other hand, Mortal Kombat is, what do we want? What were we there for? We were there for the fights. We were there for the brutality of it. However, Mortal Kombat does have a fantastic story. I know that a lot of people don't know it because a lot of people don't play fighting games for the story, but it does have a fantastic story in there. So they needed to build up the characters a little. You need to care about the characters. You need to be scared about who they're fighting. And like the movie starts with there's a flashback, you know, for the death of a certain character and the start of a particular thing that, again, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but you should know it. If you know anything about Mortal Kombat lore, you already kind of know the deal here. But then immediately after that scene, there's just a bunch of text that tells you like what part of the story you're in. And like, oh yeah, so the Outworld is one win away from taking over Earth. And you're like, what the fuck is this thing talking about? Like, if you didn't know, I mean, I know, so I know. But if you don't know, it's like, what the fuck is Outworld? What the fuck is happening? None of this makes any sense. So there's no discovery here. There's no nothing. It's there's no actual, they just kind of just throw you in there and you're confused. Like, when I watch a movie, I always try to imagine it. Okay, if I know nothing of this world, what am I thinking here? And I'd be like, well, who's that guy? Or what's happening? Or why should I care? Or what's going on? And so the story's a fucking mess. They try to add, they added a new character. There's a massive, ginormous roster of characters in Mortal Kombat. Most of them have really great backstories. Most of them are super interesting. Most of them have really cool personalities. You don't need to add another character. You kind of just need to pick a few to follow, and they could be your main characters. Like this, like I said, this movie or this franchise needed like a slow build-up. And my kid brother mentioned something that I thought could be interesting, kind of like almost like an MCU type of build-up. Like each character gets their own movie, and then Mortal Kombat, the tournament, that would be like the crescendo. I don't think you need to go that far, but like imagine like a little bit of a build-up to each fight, like a little bit of a backstory to each character, like who the hell's Reptile? Where did he come from? Not just throw him in there. Or who the hell is, I don't know, Jax, and why is he there? Why should we care? They didn't really give us a reason to care. The only one that they tried to give us a reason to care is the main character. And I got lots to say about the main character. Cole. So not only is he the main character, he's the new character they created for this particular movie. And again, I'm in the spoiler arena. I will tell you my thoughts. Okay, I will give you my thoughts. Also, by the way, Danny's game clips. You're saying that I like more the animation movie of Scorpion Origins. Yes, and it's also on HBO Max. We actually saw it immediately because we were looking for the original Mortal Kombat, you know, to contrast. We watched it immediately after we watched it. It's called Scorpion's Revenge, Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge. Again, it's basically the same story, except Scorpion is kind of a bigger deal here, and he's kind of a part of he's an anti-hero. It's 100 times better. 100 times better. But anyway, I was getting distracted. I'm talking here about Cole. Our boy Cole here. Cole sucks balls. All right? Cole sucks donkey dick. The dude is a loser. But he's not even a lovable loser. He's just basically a giant punching bag. His only quality is that he's a gigantic, ginormous punching bag. And he has so much plot armor that it's coming out of his wazoo. And I'll get into that a little bit more later again. There's a lot of issues with this guy. Mainly, well, you know what? I'll save Cole for the spoiler arena. So let's just say, overall, the movie is not great. It's just not great. Okay, it's disappointing. Again, if you're there for the brutality, you're fine. If you're there for the fatalities, you're fine. You're gonna have a good time. Straight up, gonna have a good time. But you're gonna have to suffer through a whole lot of crap, and a whole lot of really crappy crap. And so, overall, would I recommend this? I don't plan on watching it again. Like, I just had to rewatch a bunch of stuff and go through some clips. And it's like, yeah. But the fatalities were cool. So honestly, just play the video game better, or watch the original Mortal Kombat. Now that's a legit good movie. That's a legit good movie. Like I said, I was rewatching the scene where Liu Kang fights Shang Tsung. I almost fucked up the name again. I don't know what is it with names, but I get fucked up. I get fucked up. Anyway, it's the build up to that fight. And so first off, it's in this big room where the ground is just the symbol of actually I actually have the thing here pulled up. I can actually show you. So I'm not gonna play the thing, but you can see the room actually has like the logo. It's this room is fantastic. There's a slow build up, and as they're getting ready for this fight, the cool thing is that the theme slowly starts putting. Like I said, build up to fights. That's a fantastic thing. You slowly work up to the fight. You slowly work up to the villain. There's a bit of a back and forth. In this movie, they kind of just throw you in there and doesn't really make a lot of sense, and it just feels too forced. Here, it felt natural. It was great. Again, just rewatch this clip, Liu Kang versus Shang Tsung, and you'll be like, holy crap, now that's a good movie. Anyway, so let's go back here to Mortal Kombat. And okay, so that's it for the spoiler-free arena. From this moment on, we're going into spoilers. So, and because I want to complain a lot about the story. The story is shit. Anyway, so spoiler-free, done. We are going into spoiler arena starting now. So, let's talk about our boy Cole here, the main character, Cole. Like I said, dude sucks donkey dick. Why? This guy, his only quality, I guess, is that is the plot armor that the writers gave him. And the crazy thing is that at one point they gave him an actual plot armor. Like, dude has an actual fucking plot armor, like literally on him, and it comes out in the worst possible. Well, not like they gave him the exact power that he needed for the situation that he was, and he's ridiculous. Now I get it. This dude, he gets his ass kicked left and right all time, like all the time. Like, the movie begins with him getting his ass kicked by a nobody. So the dude's a loser. Okay, he used to be a champion. Now he's a loser. And there's the story. Listen, the character of the lovable loser is a character, and we all kind of like the lovable loser, right? Because it's part of the name, lovable loser. Cole's not a lovable loser. He's just a loser. And let me explain why. Because he's resigned himself to being a loser. That's the issue. The lovable loser, usually he's scrappy. He's out there. He's still trying to do it. Now, they could have made him like he was a champion, and now, I don't know, maybe he got injured at one point, and that's why he's still not 100%. Maybe there's certain issues that he's not dealing. Maybe there's like family issues where he needs money, and that's why he's throwing fights or whatever. But no, dude's just a loser. He fought in I don't know, somebody's fucking garage basically, and lost to a random nobody. Dude got paid $200 to get his ass kicked. You probably spend way more on the hospital bills afterwards of getting your ass kicked. Just in fucking Tylenol, you spend more than $200. So, doesn't make any sense. They never really say that he's strapped for cash. They never really go into any of that stuff. He's just, I used to be a champion, now I suck. Why? Because of reasons. And throughout the movie, dude keeps getting his ass kicked over and over again. And when he's supposed to be training, the dude quits. He's a quitter. He's not only a loser, he's also a quitter. Why? Because I'm assuming that getting your ass kicked the whole time isn't fun. But then, all of a sudden, when there's a situation, life or death, he has to protect his family, magically, out of fucking nowhere, literal fucking plot armor falls onto him. Literal plot armor from the writers just pops onto him, and it just magically, everything's fixed. You can just walk, it's fine. What the hell are you drinking?
It's my booze.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. Eric, just whatever, doesn't matter. Just get out of here.
He distracted himself.
Well, I mean, you're doing it the weirdest way. I'm in the middle of a rant. Just get the fuck out of here. Anyway, so, and let me tell you something. I'm going to show you something because I actually recorded this GIF. There's no, like I said, this dude, all plot armor, gets his ass kicked the whole time. The dude's a tank, all right? I'll give Cole this. Cole is a fucking tank. Dude can take a punch, and he didn't take a punch from just anybody. He took so many punches from Goro that should have killed him, but didn't. Why? Because of the fucking writers. It was all bullshit, and I hate that in a story. You know why? Because it's bad fucking writing. It's terrible fucking writing. Usually, a hero survives something because by the skin of his teeth. He survives an encounter by the skin of his teeth by actually trying to do something, by bettering himself or something, and he doesn't get killed because he barely dodges something or whatever. Here, it's bullshit. Cole is alive because of bullshit, and I got the gifts to prove it. So first off, okay, so here you go. Here is Cole getting his ass kicked by Goro, and also Jax getting his ass kicked by somebody else. So let me see if I can make this bigger for you guys. I guess. No, I don't think I can zoom in here. All right. Nope, that's the wrong one. So there you go. So you see, you're going to see Goro have him by his neck, punch him, give him a headbutt. Now, after that, after those, punches to the face, to the stomach, and a headbutt, he throws him through a wall, basically, then grabs a giant piece of lumber, breaks it on his fucking back, and Cole still manages to crawl out of there. Like I said, dude's a motherfucking tank, and you'd be like, all right, maybe that's his superpower, right? Maybe he's a tank, and that's why he got the armor. Except, kind of an issue here. In the beginning of the movie, we saw him getting his ass kicked by a normal dude. So, if he can't even take the punches of a normal dude without getting his ass kicked and quitting, how the fuck is he supposed to withstand an ass whooping by Goro? All right? Fucking Goro, who we see him as soon as he... By the way, they didn't really build up Goro enough, which was... Because he looks cool, but it's really disappointing. It's super disappointing and a wasted opportunity there because he looks cool, and I get it. It would have been super expensive to animate him the whole time, but come on. Like, you could have done way more with Goro, especially like the Prince of Outworld. Actually like have conversations and be scary, and you know how they did in the original movie, in the original Mortal Kombat. Goro shows up and just starts kicking ass left and right. He kills a champion. It's a build up to Goro, and then Johnny Cage is like, "Fuck, I gotta face that guy." It's actually fun, and again, the main heroes here get their asses whooped left and right. Sonya Blade and Jax have basically like the arm of a giant statue fall on them, and they're fine. And let me show you a gif from the original Mortal Kombat. Here's Sonya Blade fighting Kano, and consequences, because consequences are very important in a fight. So here it's kind of an iconic moment, I think, or at least to me. It's Sonya Blade. She just kicked. She was in the middle of a fight with Kano. Kano knocks her down, and then while she's in the ground, he does that. Kicks her right in the ribs. And you know what happens? She's like in a little ball. She's crawling because she just got kicked in the fucking ribs by an army boot. You know what that does to you? It really hurts. And so as she's down there on the ground, by the way, spoiler alert, but I mean, we're already in spoiler arena, so it doesn't matter, but it's a spoiler for the first movie. After she gets kicked in the ribs, what she does is she has to improvise because Kano's going in for the kill. She has to improvise, and she finds a way to wiggle her way out of it. And it's fantastic, right? The way that she does it, it's fine. It's great. And it works for the character, works for everything. But you can see that she's injured. She's struggling to move. It's hard. And this is something that they didn't really do in this movie. Dudes are getting, like, stabbed and, like, nothing. Like, Kano in this movie actually gets stabbed in the leg. They don't even give him medical treatment. Dude doesn't even limp. It doesn't really... It makes no sense. It's like they forgot. Also, the director, really, really good. I'm sorry, really, really bad at kind of organizing it. Here's you can tell that the dude's a newbie because usually choreography is kind of hard. It's difficult. Choreography for a fighting movie also very hard. And here the dude kind of just forgot the characters were there. And no, there's a scene. Well, it's actually this scene, the one that's before this one. Let me see if I can get you over there. How the hell did I open the other one? Weird. Is it the next one? There you go. Okay. So there's during this scene, there's everybody's basically fighting everybody, right? Everybody's fighting everybody. You see that little arena where Jax is? Well, that's kind of like where everybody's fighting. But you don't really see it. Like, Jax is getting his ass kicked by that dude with a hammer. Inside, Liu Kang is fighting Cabal, and on the other side, on the inside, Sonya Blade is fighting Melina. Then all of a sudden, after all these fights, then afterwards, Sonya Blade starts fighting Kano. Again, the same arena, and characters just kind of disappear. They're not fighting at the same time. They just kind of disappear. And afterwards, after all these fights happen, Kung Lao, who's apparently been standing in the middle of the arena the whole time, starts fighting somebody else. He throws his hat at Shang Tsung. It's really weird. It's like, what, was he just there the whole time not doing anything? Was he just, are they just kind of like standing there like, oh, I'm just gonna wait my turn? No, it doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. But again, it happens with newbies. You could clearly tell that's a newbie mistake. There's also a thing at the end where Cole's family is Cole's supposed to be inside of a ring, and then they throw Sub-Zero in there, and Cole's not there anymore. It's really weird. Like I said, clearly a noob, and he made noob mistakes. So that's why you don't get noobs to do particular movies. Anyway, the point is, the main character was bullshit. He sucked. He was stupid. And they gave him plot armor, and the ridiculous... The story is beyond ridiculously stupid, but it's forgivable for Mortal Kombat if it at least makes sense. I can accept ridiculousness if it's in the context of ridiculousness. But here, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever anywhere. Like, all of a sudden, you get this massive threat. They all get their asses kicked. One-on-one, by the way. And then their solution is, all right, we're going to go fight them one-on-one. You just got your asses kicked. But no, now they have the Arcana. Now, all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, they got superpowers. And it's like, all right, now we're going to do it. Why would this time be any different? Also, being teleported is kind of bullshit, but I get it. It's kind of a Raiden thing. It's all too much fucking plot armor. And the worst part about this, there wasn't even a Mortal Kombat. There wasn't a tournament. This movie was supposed to be about a fighting tournament. The tournament never happens. So there's a lot of... Well, first off, Kitana wasn't in there. Melina was in there. Kitana wasn't in there, which makes no fucking sense. And they just kind of killed all the backstory for Melina for reasons. Like, Melina actually has an interesting backstory. All that's, down the drain. Now Kitana's like, who's she gonna be, like, who's gonna be her main rival? Not Melina. Melina's dead. So, a lot of bullshit going around. A lot of bullshit going around. They didn't know how to use the characters well. The story makes no fucking sense. And in the beginning of the movie, we see Sub-Zero kill Scorpion's family, right? He just flat out kills him, and then he fights Scorpion. That's how that begins. In the end of the movie, we see Sub-Zero kidnap Cole's family, not kill them, and then fight Cole, and all of a sudden Scorpion comes out of fucking nowhere. Literally out of fucking nowhere. And by the way, that whole thing was bullshit too. So it's like, are you kidding me? You already showed that this guy is a literally cold-blooded killer. Literally cold-blooded. And in the beginning of the movie, you saw him kill the family and then piss off the other dude and fight him. However, in the end, he decides, you know what? This whole killing families is kind of mean. It's not a nice thing. So I'm just gonna put him on ice, which is not gonna kill him for some reason. And then, if they beat me, the family might live. Okay, all right. Like, honestly, if they would have killed the family, it would have been like, well, at least that's something. At least some consequences. At least, they didn't have any fucking plot armor. And by the way, family also terribly used, because supposedly the issue here is that Cole is a descendant from Scorpion, and he has it in his DNA to be a badass fighter. They could have thrown a little bit in there with the daughter too, if they wanted to. Like, it's in her DNA, and like she actually has like a lot like talent. In fact, you know what? I would have reversed Mulan this bitch. I would have done it like in a reverse Mulan form. You know how in Mulan it's like the dad can't fight or whatever, and so Mulan goes in his place? I would have done it like the daughter is the one who's actually talented, who's actually gifted at fighting, and Cole, who's the loser, he's like, I'm not gonna let you, but she's still too young. So Cole's like, no, you're too young. I don't care how good you are. I'm going in your stead, something like that. It would have been a little bit more interesting, maybe, but here it's just stupid. Honestly, none of the characters are used well. None of them. The main characters, too much plot armor. In the case of Cole, literal plot armor, and you know what? It doesn't even look that good. Check it out. Like, look at it right here. Look at that. Like, look at that. Ah, damn it, I can't move it. There you go. You see that? You know what armor doesn't do? That. This basically, it looks like he's wearing a sweater. Like sometimes it like bunches up on you. That's what it looks like. It's stupid. It was dumb. It doesn't make any sense. Giving him superpowers is stupid. No, that's not true. Giving him the perfect superpower for that moment. And by the way, that power doesn't help him at all the rest of the movie, because he still gets hit, but it doesn't work the same way. So I can't really tell you what his powers were. So That's it. That's it. Overall, stupid movie. You can watch it once. In fact, I think somebody here in the chat said it. Danny again. Yeah, for one time, sure. You watch it, you watch the fatalities, and you're like, okay, I'll just rewatch the original or watch the animated Scorpion's Revenge one because that one is actually pretty good. So that's it. Movie sucks. It was terrible, terribly made. They're very disappointed because I expected a little bit more. I was bracing myself for disappointment because, again, it was a newbie. I knew that newbies are a bad idea, man. I know that everybody's got to start somewhere, but in such a big fucking title, no. And it has so much potential. So much fucking potential. And it was just wasted. It was wasted. It was a wasted opportunity. I don't see really where they're going to go from here. 'Cause, I mean, they could go and do the tournament, but they already got rid of a bunch of the most interesting characters. And for them to waste another opportunity like this, I don't know. Because, like, I mean, listen, Sub-Zero's little brother sucks. Like, I was going to say they got rid of Sub-Zero, but usually the way that they replace that is with the little brother. That dude sucks too, all right? Compared to the original Sub-Zero. Like, bad Stone Cold Killer, Ice Cold Killer, Sub-Zero is the cool one. The other one is kind of a little bitch. So, I don't know. Honestly, it was disappointing. I expected more. I was excited about it. And I'm disappointed. And by the way, they completely ruined the whole Sonya Blade storyline of her hating Kano because she killed her partner. Here, her and Kano are, they start off she starts off not wanting to kill Kano. It's really weird. They just like each other, but it's not like I hate that guy and the only reason I'm there is because I want to kill him, which has been kind of the story throughout. Like, we don't know. Oh, Sonya hates Kano. Yeah, that's a thing. So I don't know. That's, like I said, I don't recommend it. I mean, watch it once for the brutality of it, but you're not missing much. If you miss it, you're not missing much. So there you go. That's it. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Streaming on YouTube and on Twitch at Super Dario World. Like, subscribe. I really appreciate that. It really helps me out. Danny, yeah, the Black Panther without the cool part. Oh, you mean the whole bullshit armor thing? Yeah. Actually, it's the exact same effect that pretty much Black Panther's armor did. And also the whole, bullshit of him being thrown off the waterfall, whatever. And a bunch of bullshit this movie. I agree. So, there you go. Chad agrees with me. Anyway, that's it. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.